It's Monday the 1st of February, and it's a quick report from down in King Edward Point, where we've been continuing our work to install this magnetic observatory. And we've been working today with South Georgia government officials and just trying to make sure that the work that we do isn't going to make biosecurity problems here any worse than they already are. An invasive species called bittercress has populated some parts of the site here, and we're just trying to make sure that the work we do isn't going to spread that plant any further than it's already gone. We had a slightly frustrating day because we found, about midday, we found some steel plates buried in the ground, and we want to put one of the instruments, we want to put the proton magnetometer fairly close to these steel plates, so we've had to pull them out of the ground. We pulled two out and thought we'd sorted everything out and went back and did some measurements, and there was still a problem. Pulled a third one out and did some measurements, and still a problem, and we spent a long time trying to find the fourth one because it was buried in quite far down, quite surprisingly. Pulled the fourth one out and finally everything went ahead, so eventually things turned out well. After that we've been digging for the variometer house, where we're going to house the instrument that automatically measures these small changes in the field. And we've been digging down to bedrock and then backing up with rocks to make a really nice stable base, which is what this instrument needs. The instrument's very, very sensitive, and it's sensitive to changes in temperature and sensitive to any movement that might happen. For example, if there's a strong wind on the side of the enclosure that it lives in and the wind tips the concrete pier that the instrument's sitting on ever so slightly, the instrument will be able to see that. So we've got to have a very, very stable base underneath the instrument. There was a tourist ship in the bay today, and although we still haven't been outside the base, it's quite nice to see these ships coming and going. We can see along to Grytviken, about 1 kilometre away from King Edward Point, and we can see people coming and going on the ships and going to the museum, which we hope to get to ourselves in the not too distant future. Well, we left behind an important part. This is the first major problem that we've encountered so far. It's a part to do with the theodolite that we use to make these absolute measurements of the field. And so we're going to sit and think a little bit and work out if there's something that we can improvise to help us through and make some of these absolute measurements, which is part of what we're down here to do. So tomorrow maybe we'll have come up with a solution.